I'm Seamus Dunhu of EVE University, and this is episode 3 of How to Survive EVE Online. Before we get started on the industry and business chains, I want to do some skill-related housekeeping. So you'll notice that some of the tutorial windows will throw skill books at you that you can't inject yet. In the case of archaeology, if we show info on that, I am missing survey level 3. In the case of hacking, I've got I'm missing electronic upgrades level 3. So let's go to the Neocom. Let's click on the bar, which will be either black or blue or a combination of the two. Left click on that. And let's fix the survey problem first. So let's go to electronics, and we're going to drag in survey. Left click and drag from here to just above your racial frigate level 4. And let's drag it one more time so that we queue up level 3. So I've now got survey level 2, level 3, and Galente frigate level 4 queued up, and I'm going to click apply. Right. For hacking, now if CCP has not changed anything, and I don't think they have, other than the exploration stuff and hacking and archaeology, they don't actually give you the electronic upgrades skill book. So right-click electronic upgrades, view market details. So these are electronic upgrade skill books. Here we are. Here's some in station. Right-click and buy this. All right, and we're going to right-click electronic upgrades and inject skill. And it happens to be in the electronics category, so it just appeared here. We're going to drag that, left click and drag that over 1, 2, 3 times. And click apply. And you can drag the skills in any order you want, with the exception that a lower level of the skill must be queued before a higher level of the skill. So I cannot drag electronic upgrades level 3 above level 1. Alright, skill levels need to be changed in the right order. Other than that niggly little detail, you can put these in any order you like. You can't inject a skill at all and make it appear in these lists unless you've already met the prerequisites involved. Alright. So I'm going to click apply one more time just because I'm paranoid, and close the skill training window. And let us... Oh! You know what? Mechanics. I happen to know that you need mechanics level 3 later for a different reason. The salvaging skill, which is another skill book the tutorials will throw at you, needs mechanics level 3. So it would be nice to have that ready. Alright, now we're done here. So, look for career industry. In the case of the Cleveland solar system, that's Hoover there. Start conversation. Making mountains of molehills, 1 out of 10. He wants us to go to a particular location in space, noted here as Cleveland, and there's a yellow circle next to it. And he wants us to mine 999 Veldspar. Right. He will give us a Miner 1 module with which to do the mining work, and there will be rewards for completing the mission. Right. He also wants us to pay a 1 ISK collateral up front, which he will keep if we fail. But this is a tutorial mission, you're not going to fail. Do be aware that with regular missions, though, that have a collateral, there is a chance that you might fail those. So let's accept. The game will throw text at you. I'm going to have to get that out of the way later. I need to open the fitting window. I don't need the codebreaker or the analyzer for this. What else do I not need? Right click, stack everything. I don't need the scanner probes or the proof of discovery. I don't need the probe launcher. I do need the miner. Let's see, do I need anything else? Nothing that would be useful in my case. Alright, so I have everything I need. Let's undock. Now, the wording of the in-game tutorial here is very unfortunate. It's going to be telling you about things called asteroid belts, which you can find from right-clicking empty space and going to asteroid belts, and there are all of the celestial regular asteroid belts there. You will find asteroids there. Unfortunately, for this first step of the mission, actually completing the mission requires that you accomplish an objective at a special mission location, which was created just for you. So the in-game tutorial here is being very misleading. Alright? So let's just go to the mission location.
Warp drive active.
Yes, there are many different ways to tell your interface that you want to go to the mission. You've got the link in the briefing window. You can right-click in empty space. You can go up here to agent missions. Any of these will work. This is normally good reading, but I'm not going to take up your time with that. Go ahead and read that on your own. Alright, we're at the mission location, and my camera just so happens to be pointed at that rock. So you can go ahead and control left-click on that rock that you see over there to target lock it. If your camera happens to be pointed the wrong way and you can't find the silly thing, well, that's where the overview comes in handy. So go to your overview window, right-click where it says default, and you're going to add tab. Type in label. You could call it mining. I call mine utility because I use the tab for a bunch of other things, not just asteroids, but also wrecks, gas clouds, that sort of thing. But whatever you call it, left-click on the tab after you've created it, and you can either left-click the tab itself, or you can left or right-click the menu icon on the overview and load default mining. And that brings up CCP's pre-programmed mining overview filter, and look, asteroid Veldspar. Control left-click on that. You can also press C to get your camera to turn towards it if you want. And you will either click on the mining module itself, or you can press, in my case, F2 on the keyboard to start mining it. F1 for the first module, F2 for the second module. Right now I've got a light electron blaster in the first slot, so if I hit F1, that would be telling my ship's computer to start shooting at an asteroid, rather than mining it. Not the same thing. So if I open my cargo hold, the Navitas frigate that I took out here is 280 cubic meters. Has 280 cubic meters of cargo space. So basically, I'm just going to wait for the mining laser. Oh, by the way, let's open up the journal. Let's get this mission briefing open. So this mission has a particular objective that needs to be completed at this location. And in any mission that involves location, there will usually be a location flag that needs to be triggered. So while I was flapping my jaw just now, this text box showed up, and this is marked as complete. So now as far as the game is concerned, I've done what I need to do at this location. The rest of my Veldspar I can get from anywhere. But as long as I've got an asteroid of my own right here, I will continue mining. Now, as long as we're waiting, let's right-click the mining module and show info. And from the attributes, I can see that every 60 seconds, it pulls 44 cubic meters of asteroid ore. Right? So it brought in 44 cubic meters of Veldspar, which is 440 units. I need 999. By the way, as long as I'm sitting here mining, I may as well tell you about something unrelated. My ship is currently named Tutorial Maker Dunahu's Navitas. That's the default name that it had when I started mining. That's a problem. Why is that a problem? Well, if I go back to the scanner button, and instead of probe scanner, let's go to directional scan. Here I have the directional scan, I have a range, and I have an angle slider. I'm going to set the angle slider to 360 degrees. I'm going to take the range, and I'm going to fill it with as many 9s as I can. Click the scan button, and it will automatically be capped to its maximum range. And it's going to pull up a list of everything within 2 billion kilometers of me, about 14 astronomical units. And I can scroll through this whole entire mess. I was hoping to see more player ships in this, so let me go to my default overview setting, click Use Active Overview Settings, scan again. And now I can see a whole bunch of player ships. Alex Denny's Velator, Alav Rising's Velator, Elixir Rollard's Navitas, Amaya Faler's Navitas, Andy David Wright's Venture, Balmighty Nardu's Thorax. These are the names of their ships. They have not changed the names on their ships, neither have I. So anyone who uses a directional scanner can tell from the name of the ship who it belongs to. Alright? However, here we have a Tengu strategic cruiser called Eye Up. We've got... let me see. We've got a retriever called Pyro Prince 3. But is there anybody actually in local named Pyro Prince? No, there isn't. There's nobody in local by the name of Pyro Prince. Right? So the directional scanner returns the name of the ship, not necessarily the name of the pilot in it. If you assemble a ship, then the assembled ship by default will have your name in its name. Not generally a good practice. Unless you're going to assemble a ship, hand it off to somebody else, and therefore they're flying Seamus Dunahu's Megathron, but they're not actually Seamus Dunahu. So you could try being tricky that way. But generally, you want to change the name of your vessel. So I'm going to right-click my capacitor, or I could right-click my ship in space. Set name, Navitas. Push OK. Close the fitting window. We have plenty of Veldspar by this point, so I'm not going to continue mining. I'm going to turn off the mining laser and return to station. Yes, I only needed 999 Veldspar. I've got over 2,000 Veldspar now. Trust me, you're going to need some of the extra Veldspar later. Because you're about to see what it is that you can do with Veldspar. By the way, for those of you who are coming back to EVE Online from a long absence, be aware that the Navitas is no longer a mining frigate. There are no longer any racial mining frigates. The Navitas has been repurposed as a remote repair ship. A new mining frigate has been introduced, which you're about to see very shortly. So let's start conversation with Hoover and Air. Everything is green check marks, so we're going to complete the mission. Request the next mission. He wants Tritanium. Now this is one of those rare kinds of missions where the agent says, get me this item, I don't care where you get it from. There are a number of ways we could do it. We could either take some of our excess Veldspar and refine it, which I will do in a moment. Or I could buy Tritanium off the market, so if I right-click the icon right there in the mission briefing window and view market details, I see that there are sell orders for titanium. Right? So I could right-click any of these entries, like an entry here in station, and select buy this. Usually you want to sort your prices so that for the sell orders, lowest prices are on top. Sort your buy orders so that highest price buy orders are on top. And for sell orders, these are people who are selling titanium. So I can right-click, buy this, select a quantity, 750. It'll tell me how much it'll cost. Only 4,000 ISK in this case. And I can click the buy button. But I've got Veldspar, and I can make titanium out of Veldspar, so I don't need to do that. But generally, if you need some particular mineral real quick, or maybe you need a mineral that only conveniently comes from low security space, conveniently possibly being a misnomer here, you can buy it off the market instead. So you've got a number of ways to do that. So I'm going to accept, and the game will throw texts at you about refining. But suffice it to say, you can right-click the Veldspar, refine, and here it will tell you what it is that you're trying to refine, that you've asked to be refined, and what you're going to get out of it. This is how much titanium you receive. This is how much titanium that the station takes in taxes because they don't like you enough yet. And this is how much titanium you're going to lose because either the station equipment is bad, which is false in this case. This is a base yield of 50%. That's the best station equipment you can ask for. So either the station equipment is bad, or you don't have any skills, or not enough skills in refining. Of course, I don't have any skills in refining. Yet. So, but I'm fine with these losses, so I'm going to click Reprocess. And now I have titanium. So if I refresh the Agent Conversation window, everything here is green check marks, and I'm going to complete the mission. I am now given a Venture type or mining frigate as a reward, as well as the skill book needed to train it. Right-click, show info. Alright, I meet the prerequisites, so let me right-click and train now to level 1. And let me double-check. Yes, I want to switch skill training. Let me double-check my skill queue. Alright, that'll be ready in 16 minutes. And I didn't push anything else off of my queue. By the way, you can slot in any number of skills into your skill training queue, as long as the last one in the queue will start less than 24 hours from now. It can end beyond 24 hours from now, that's fine. As a matter of fact, once you've been in the game for a long time, you'll find that you're training up skills that take 2 or 3 weeks, or in the worst case scenario, I think it's 2 months to finish the skill. Of course, for 2 months to get a single level of skill, I think we're probably talking about Racial Titan. That would take probably a couple of months to train up, but I think that's the worst case scenario for a single skill level. Close this. I'm going to request the next mission. Now, Hoover-Nair wants us to make 2 units of civilian afterburner, and he's going to give us a blueprint with which we can do that. Alright? By the way, I'm hoping that you followed my advice previous episode and that you trained the industry skill to level 1, because if you left-click this blueprint icon, and you go to the Bill of Materials tab, Manufacturing sub-tab, and you look at the skills, you see that this needs Industry Level 1 to complete. If you didn't train Industry Level 1 already, then you cannot complete this mission. So, just in case you missed it earlier, right-click Industry, View Market Details, and you will want to buy an Industry Skill Book. Right-click on that, buy this, and you'll want to click the Buy button and then train that up to Level 1 immediately. You do need that for this mission right now. Or you can wait the 10 minutes it takes to train it and go make a sandwich or something. So click Accept. And the game will throw text at you about manufacturing, but I am about to go through all of that right now. So, from the show info on the blueprint, we need 76 titanium. If we had perfect manufacturing skills, we would only need 61 titanium. But as a new player, we're going to need 76, and we need to make 2 of these, so it's 76 times 2. But I have a lot more excess titanium, so I should be okay. Right-click the blueprint, click Manufacturing. And really, the blueprint and input-output options don't need to be changed. The number of runs needs to be changed to 2, because we need to make 2 of these. Oh, something I forgot to point out. This is a blueprint copy. So if we go to the attributes, I'm going to cancel the manufacturing. So attributes, here we have licensed production runs remaining 2. This is a blueprint copy. It's only good for 2 runs, and then it will disappear after that's done. There are blueprints known as blueprint originals, which will never expire in that manner. Why blueprint copies are useful is a subject that I will probably leave to either the Industry 101 or 102 class in Eve University or a separate video. But anyway, there are blueprint copies that will eventually disappear and blueprint originals that stick around forever. So right-click, Manufacturing, 2 runs, pick installation. Let's make this window a little bit bigger. Wow, it's a busy day in Clelanon. None of these slots are free. Okay, so click on next free time, 33 minutes. Right. Let's suppose you're impatient. So change range to current region. Let's sort this by number of jumps. And we have Luce. Alright, so Luce is 1 jump out. And they've got a whole bunch of free manufacturing slots. But we can't make use of them from here. So I'm going to right-click and set destination. And let me close this window. Cancel. I'm going to pack on board my blueprint and my titanium. Hopefully, your station will be a lot quieter by the time you actually do this. So you won't have to move systems. So I've set a destination, I've got my titanium, I've got my blueprint. I'm ready to head out. As long as I'm doing that, let me see if the business agent... Yes, I'm starting a new tutorial chain at the same time. Let me see if the business agent has something for me. Because that first mission in the business chain is a courier mission. And guess where he wants me to go? Yes, that's right, the same station. It's a coincidence, but it's a convenient coincidence. But the first mission in the business chain will be a courier mission in any event, so as long as you're leaving the solar system, we may as well accept that. If this were a separate station, I would right-click and add waypoint, then right-click Clelanon and add waypoint again. So let me click accept. And he wants us to move data sheets over there, so make sure you drag that into your cargo hold. You can do 2 missions at the same time. Isn't that wonderful? Close and undock. Alright, let me scroll down through the list, look for the Stargate, and click jump. Now let me hit C to stop my camera tracking.
Warp drive active.
I'm filming these tutorials in a live environment, by the way. A lot of other people are also going through these tutorials, which is why all those manufacturing slots are busy. Alright, I'm in Luce. Left-click the station that has a yellow icon on it, and I'm going to dock.
Warp drive active.
As long as I'm in warp, I'm going to click this box down here. It's actually a set of 4 lines. It's a menu icon. And I'm going to arrange this the way I like it. Display empty slots. Display readout. Do not show readout as percentage. Okay, good. I always like to show my empty slots just to remind myself how many slots my ship has. So if I've left slots empty, which is not normally a good thing to do, because there's always something useful that you could put in there, that reminds me of it. Alright, I'm docked, and I have 2 orders of business here. First, I'm going to talk to the business agent. Everything here is green check marks, so complete mission. Game will throw text at you about salvaging. And will give you a salvaging skill book and a survey skill book. Salvaging you can't inject right now because you're missing Survey 3 and Mechanics 3. That's why I had you queue those up earlier. Just throw that in your cargo hold. Survey, however, we can train up. Wait a minute, we already got the survey skill book. Ah yes, of course, the tutorial windows sometimes give you extra copies of these things. You have already trained survey and cannot train it a second time. Throw that in your cargo hold. Let's bring in the blueprint and the titanium. Right-click the blueprint and manufacturing. Pick an installation, Luce, and double-click any assembly line. Free now. 2 runs, click OK, and it's going to tell us this will take 4 minutes. Accept quote. It also costs us some ISK, only a few thousand ISK, not much. And it'll take the blueprint and the titanium, and in about 4 minutes, you will have your civilian afterburners. And you can check on the status of that from the Science and Industry button in the Station Services window, or from your Neocom. Or if you removed it from your Neocom, which you can do by right-click and remove, left-click your Eve menu, Business, Science and Industry, and you can drag that back in. Alright, so from your Science and Industry window, you can click the Jobs tab and the Get Jobs button, and left-click the job in question, and you can see that there are 3 minutes remaining on that. I'm not going to bore you with a 3-minute wait. I'm going to skip ahead. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. By the way, any operation involving blueprints is a background operation. I don't have to sit here and babysit this thing. I could have been off doing something else. Some blueprint operations can take hours or days or even weeks to complete. Right? And you don't have to be there in station or even logged on. It's like skill training in that regard. Alright, so this thing is ready. Let me click deliver. And let's drag in our civilian afterburners. Let's get the rest of our titanium and let's get out of here. Let's go back to Colomon.
Warp drive active.
So yeah, any operation involving blueprints, doesn't matter what it is a background operation. You'll have to wait for it to complete, but you can go do other stuff or even log off while you're waiting for that to finish. I just simply waited the 4 minutes because I had nothing better to do. Alright, left-click the station and dock.
Warp drive active.
By the way, you may have noticed on each jump that your ship is translucent and then becomes opaque after you start moving. Whenever you emerge from a Stargate or wormhole after a jump, you have a 60-second gate cloak. You're invincible and truly invulnerable. Nothing can damage you, not even area of effect weapons. That lasts for 60 seconds, or until you start moving, whichever happens first. So if someday you're wandering around in low or null security and you find that you've jumped into a gate camp or a wormhole camp, you have 60 seconds to collect your wits, look at the situation around you, and decide what to do about it. It may very well be that you were ill-prepared for it and you have no options, and no matter what you're going to do, you're going to die. But at the very least, you'll have 60 seconds to make that realization. Alright, so, let's talk to the industry career agent, complete the mission, and request the next mission. Skill trading completed. Alright, now in this mission, he wants us to go... He wants more titanium. Additionally, he wants us to do something specific at a particular location. Alright? And he will give us another mining laser as a reward once that is finished. Okay. So I'm going to accept. Let me close this, and as long as I finish the training for the mining frigate, I'm going to right-click my venture, assemble ship, right-click, change the name, call it venture. Let me open my fitting window, strip everything off my ship. Yes, I really do want to remove all modules from my ship. Do not ask me again. Strip ship will only remove modules, not your rigs. Rigs are a bit of a special case. Rigs are like modules, except that to remove them you have to destroy them. So the strip ship button will never destroy a rig. Let's drag in the venture. Why did I close the fitting window? I didn't need to do that. We are going to drag back in the light electron blaster. Might as well load it up with charges, fit our mining laser, fit our small armor repair, and that's the only useful stuff that I have here. Did I leave behind something on the Navitas? Right-click, open cargo hold. Yes. Right-click, select all, and I'm going to drag that over. Go back to the ship hangar. Alright, I have everything I need. Let's undock. Right-click empty space, making mountains of molehills 4 of 10, encounter dead space, warped location.
Warp drive.
Now, as long as we're waiting to go into warp, if we show info on the Venture has bonuses based on the mining frigate skill. 5% bonus to mining yield, and 5% reduction to gas cloud harvesting duration per level. So if I get this up to level 5, then my Venture will have a 25% bonus to mining lasers, and a 25% reduction to the duration on gas cloud harvesters. Mining lasers will pull in more ore, gas cloud harvesters will cycle faster. And we've got some rogue drones here to deal with, which is why we brought a weapon. Control left click both of these things. Now here I have 2 target locks. The thing you're going to shoot when you hit F1 is surrounded by spinning triangles, both in space as well as on your target portraits. So go ahead and push F1. I'm going to turn that off again. I only opened fire to get their attention, because my weapon's only effective to within 2 kilometers. Now they're within 2 kilometers, so I'm going to start shooting. That's 1. That's 2. And there are their wrecks in space. Alright, let's go to the mining tab here. Or the utility tab in my case. We're going to target lock an asteroid and start mining. So as I was saying, the Venture has bonuses to mining yield. So if I right click this mining laser, show info, attributes tab. Oh, you know what? There's one other thing I forgot to mention. Hold down the shift key, show info, because I want this as a separate window. The Venture also has a flat roll bonus to double the mining yield on gas cloud harvesters and mining lasers. It also has something called a +2 warp core strength, which comes into play when people are trying to use warp scrambling modules on you. I'll explain warp scramblers when we get to the military tutorial or advanced military tutorial chain. But suffice it to say that +2 warp core strength makes you resistant, not immune, to things that prevent your ship from going into warp. Yes, there are things that can prevent your ship from going into warp, and if you're being shot at, that can be very bad. But yeah, the Venture has considerable bonuses to mining yield, and so this mining laser, which was pulling 44 cubic meters per cycle on the Navitas, is now pulling 92.4 cubic meters on a Venture. Additionally, if I right-click my Venture, it has a special cargo hold. It has an ore hold for holding asteroid ores, 5,000 cubic meters. It also has a standard cargo hold into which anything can fit, but that's only 50 cubic meters. I can't put a whole lot in there. So I can put anything in my standard cargo hold, but only 50 cubic meters of it. I can put any type of asteroid ore in my ore hold, 5,000 cubic meters of it, but it only holds asteroid ore. Alright. We need 7,000 titanium, which I happen to remember is going to need about 2,600? I want to say 2,600. Maybe it's 2,300. Something like that. 2,300, 2,600 Veldspar or such. But that's okay. My mining laser pulls 924 Veldspar at a shot. Alright, I have skipped ahead to a point where I've collected far more than enough Veldspar, just in case I need the extra titanium. I'm going to turn off my mining laser, in my case hitting F2, and I'm going to return to station.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Alright. Talk to Huvrenair. Oh. I need to get my ore out of the ore hold or this can't complete. I should probably refine it into titanium. That might help, wouldn't it? He wants tritanium, not Veldspar. So I'm going to reprocess that. And refresh the agent conversation window, and you will see everything as green check marks. Complete the mission. Request the next mission. And this is a long-range courier mission, so I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. Let's talk to Loic Messier and get another few missions done with him. And in this case, he wants us to go out to a location and retrieve something for him. And we need to use a civilian salvager that he will give us. And this needs to be done in Luce. So we're going to right-click Luce, set destination, right-click the station for Clelanon, add waypoint, accept. Let's close this. And open the fitting window, which I can do with Alt-F, drag in my civilian salvager. Something's wrong. Oh, the fitting window is lagging. Wonderful. Bugs. Alright, I have everything I need. So let's undock. Alright, find Luce at the bottom of the overview list, and jump. If you're tired of hitting moving targets on the overview because people are constantly warping in or undocking and your overview is cluttered with people, you can right-click empty space, or you just left-click the sun icon here, go to Stargates, Luce, and jump. Right-click empty space, encounter dead space, warp to location.
Warp drive active.
Did I bring... I did not bring extra ammunition with me. Alright, let's activate the gate. By the way, you'll happen to notice if you try to left-click and drag, and you accidentally left-click and drag on an object, that the radial menu is coming up. If you find that inconvenient, you can reassign that to a different mouse button. Escape menu, audio and chat tab, no. I'm sorry, general settings tab. Middle panel, open radial menu with middle mouse button. Now you can left click and drag without accidentally bringing up the radial menu. Control left click both the Serpentis Rookie and the civilian transport ship wreck, and you need to get closer to the transport ship wreck in any case. Alright, so click the rookie so that the spinning triangles are around him, hit F1, in my case, the weapon module is my first slot. Click the transport shipwreck, hit F3. Again, that's in my case because the salvager is in the third slot. Alright, and what you may have noticed with this wreck icon is that this one is filled, whereas all the previous ones were empty. Alright, so if you right-click the wreck and you select Open Cargo, there's metal scraps inside, or maybe there's something else inside. Click Loot All. Now, the salvager operation is done. You can tell because the salvager module is no longer present underneath the target portrait. If I try to activate the civilian salvager, it'll say, a second time that is, it'll say no further tools are needed to access the civilian transport shipwreck. So go ahead and open cargo, loot all, and we are done here. You may notice that you have Veldspar asteroids, so if you're in a mining mood, you can take extra time to go ahead and mine these rocks if you so desire. Keep in mind that if you return to station and you turn in the mission and try to come back out here, you'll find only empty space, even if you did something like right-click and save location and come back here. The asteroids are part of the mission scenery. They will go away with the mission.
Warp drive.
Alright, so keep that in mind if you're running a mission and you notice it has asteroids that you'd like to mine that can be mined. You need to mine those out first before you turn in the mission. If you're going to do such a thing. Usually it's not required, they're just there for scenery. Which is why they are often just Veldspar, which is quite common. Return to station.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking requested.
Talk to the business agent. Everything is green check marks. Click complete mission. Request next mission. Well, this is also a location and specific objective. He wants titanium, which we've already got from earlier activities, but he also wants some Serpentis cleared out from a location. So we're going to click accept. And let me make sure I actually have my spare ammunition with me. And undock. Alright. Agent missions, balancing the books, warp to location.
Warp drive active.
Alright, go to our other tab, control left click the Veldspar, and activate the mining laser. And from my journal, wonder why the mining laser animation isn't playing. The module's cycling, it's blinking green, and there's a growing arc, so that's how I know that it is activated. Now, we don't have to wait for the entire cycle. What this mission is supposed to do is ambush you while mining, but you can trigger that by manually turning on and off your mining laser. I think. Yes, there we go. Control left-click the Serpentis Pirate. Left-click the Serpentis Pirate. Hit your weapon. Oh, right, he's a bit far away. Turn that off. Let's wait for him to get closer. Kilometers, come on, and open fire. Alright, good. Let me zoom out my camera. And you know what? I like to have Rex on the same overview on which I have asteroids. So as long as I've got my utility tab, I'm going to right-click the rec, add rec to overview. Now it'll say up here, overview, not saved. I'm going to left-click the menu icon, save current type selection as Seamus Mining, because I mine the wrecks of enemy ships. Snicker, snicker. So I'm going to loot that and grab everything. Of course, there's only one thing. Alright, I'm done here. Skill training completed. Survey level 2. Let's return to station. And I'm going to turn off my mining laser, because I don't really need the asteroid ore. I've got plenty of titanium already.
Warp drive active.
I didn't spend a whole lot of time mining. I was just cycling the mining laser on and off manually quickly to trigger that ambush. By the way, if you're in a low enough security level system, I think it's 0.8 or lower, and you're or maybe it's 0.7 or lower, and you're shooting rocks, the NPC pirates for the area might spawn randomly to attack you. So keep that in mind if you're doing mining in I don't know if it's 0.7 or lower or 0.8 or lower. So you'll want to be able to fight off NPCs. Anyway, let's talk to Lloyd Mencier, or whoever your business agent is. Complete mission. And request the next mission. And he wants us to do some hacking from a particular site. Alright. And the site contains special ship restrictions. Right, we're fine. So click accept. And it's going to throw the same hacking tutorial at us again. Or maybe it's not the same hacking tutorial. Negotiation and contracting. Right, we don't have the social skill. I don't know if the game gives that to you. I'll have to figure that out later. So we're going to need the civilian data analyzer, and I'm expecting combat, so we need a weapon. I think we only need one weapon for this, so I'm going to open the fitting window. Let me strip everything, and as long as we're going to be doing hacking, I'm going to right-click my Imicus, assemble the ship, right-click, rename it Imicus, empty out my Ventures drone, cargo hold, go drag in the Imicus. The reason I'm using the Imicus is because it's bonused for analyzers, so it's perfect for this. And just as a matter of practice, I'm just going to have both the data and the relic analyzers on here, but we're only going to use the data analyzer for this one. Let's fit on the light electron blaster, which fills our only turret slot. And the small armor repairer, and we are ready to go. Note, I do not normally advise the use of a Tech 1 scanning ship like the Imicus for combat work. However, I am expecting very weak opponents for this mission, so in this case, it'll be fine. In the general case, it's not at all a good idea. So keep that in mind. But here we can get away with it. Because I think you're going to need the hacking-related bonus more than you're going to need combat-related bonuses. Besides which, the Venture and the Navitas don't have weapons-related bonuses anyway. We'd have to go back to our Velotor for that, or buy a new ship off the market. That reminds me, you should have a good amount of ISK by now. I've got 1.5 million interstellar credits. If for any reason the ship that you're using is destroyed, you're going to have to buy a new ship off of the market. So clear your search field, you'll go to ships, frigates, standard frigates, pick your race, and look through the different types of ships, see what their bonuses are, pick one that looks like it's related to what you need, and buy it off the market. Of course, these can be expensive, and Atron is 300,000 ISK right now, and Incursus is about 500,000 ISK, and Tristan is about 400,000 ISK. Let's activate the acceleration gate. So you want to have some spare money on hand in case you need to buy a new ship and a new fittings. Which brings me to the first rule of EVE Online. Do not fly what you cannot afford to lose. You never want to be in a situation where the destruction of your ship leaves you flat broke or anywhere close to it. If you think there's a possibility that you might lose your ship in the next operation, you ensure it. If you're doing mission running and you're still not too confident of your abilities, you ensure your mission running ship. That way you have a little bit more money than you would otherwise. Of course, insurance policies only last 12 weeks, so once you're very comfortable with it and you know you're not going to lose your ship, it's not worth insuring. Let's shoot the Serpentis Rookie and get that out of the way so we have no distractions. Oh look, a wreck. And it's full of something. Metal scraps. Alright, data storage device. If you click the wrong analyzer by mistake, you cannot activate civilian relic analyzer on a data storage device. So you just click the other one, your civilian data analyzer. And we've been over the hacking minigame already. Isn't my ship supposed to have bonuses for this? Show info. Ah, yes, +5 virus strength, which probably means the... Oh, you know what? I guess this bonus does not apply to the civilian versions. That's why I'm seeing the normal 25 and 10 here. Right, I could have used any other type of ship for this then. By chance, I found the system core, so I'm just going to attack it. And there's the parts container. Grab that. And now I have my encoded data chip. Let's get clear of this obstacle. Where is the station? Alright, good. There it is. Quick dock.
Warp drive active.
Remember that once you are actually in warp, you will pass through any number of solid obstacles that are in your way. So if you're actually in warp, you don't have to worry about bumping. It's only before you manage to get into warp that you have to worry about bumping. So if there's something in front of you while you're trying to go into warp, if it's far enough away from you, you can ignore it, because you'll already be in warp by the time you touch that thing. But if it's right next to you and in your way, you're going to have to go around it or back up.
Docking permission requested.
Let's talk to
Docking
Demencier.
accepted.
Complete the mission. Request the next mission. And this is also a courier mission. Step 5, each of the industry and the business chains are both courier missions, which I'm not going to take care of in this episode. This is a good place to stop. I will take care of both of these courier missions at once, at the same time, as our first order of business in the next episode. In the meantime, you should have a comfortable bisque supply, so I am now more confident to ask you to do more skill-related housekeeping. Where are my notes? I have some notes here. Accessories, notepad. Here we go. Skills a new pilot should buy and train. So I'm going to ask you to go, before we end, I'm going to ask you to go to the market and do the following. In your search bar, type, we've already done industry. In your search bar, type in hull, upgrades, push return. Right click, buy this, buy a copy of that skill book. Afterburner, push return. Skills Afterburner, right click, buy this. Everything that you're buying should have a book icon. If it's some other icon, you've selected a similarly named item by mistake. Energy grid upgrades, return. Buy this. Double click. Energy systems operation. Return. Left click. Right click. Click. Buy this. Energy management. Buy this. Return. I think I already had you get electronics upgrades. Do I have it in my case? Yes, I already have that queued in. Targeting. Alright. Left click hull upgrades, shift left click targeting, right click the selection, inject skill. We're going to go to our skill training window. Under mechanics, let's see. Where should I have you slot these in? Hull upgrades, 2 can go in here. Under navigation, afterburner can go right after that. Targeting 1 and 2. Engineering, energy grid upgrades. Let's get level 1 in each of these things. Energy grid upgrades, energy management, energy systems operation. Let's get level 2 in energy systems operation. Yep, hull upgrades level 2, targeting level 2, afterburner level 1, energy grid upgrades level 2 if it'll fit. Energy systems operation level 3, which may not necessarily fit. It'll just barely fit in my case. Energy management 3, which I definitely cannot fit right now. Right. These are skills that I believe will be useful to you during the course of the remainder of the tutorials. I will go into more detail on these Suffice it to say that you should get these skills now and cue them in, and I will end the episode at this point. Thank you for watching.